If you're between 65 and 80 and can still do certain everyday movements with ease, you might be aging far better than most, and your chances of reaching 100 could be higher than you think. Aging isn't just about genetics or luck. It's about small, everyday abilities that reveal far more about your health than you realize. Can you rise from a chair without using your hands? Walk briskly without losing breath? These seemingly simple actions are powerful indicators of longevity. Some of these signs may surprise you, and one in particular plays a crucial role in how long and how well you live. Yet few people think about it. If you can still do these things, you're not just growing older, you're thriving. Let's explore the 8 key signs that set you apart. The last one might just change how you think about aging forever. One of the simplest yet most powerful signs of longevity is your ability to stand up from a chair without using your hands. It might seem insignificant, but this movement is a strong predictor of overall health, strength, and mobility. Why does this matter? Because standing up from a seated position requires leg strength, balance, core stability, and coordination. If any of these areas are weak, you'll likely find yourself needing to push off with your hands, lean forward excessively, or struggle to get up. Many people don't notice their strength declining until small tasks, like rising from a chair, getting in and out of a car, or stepping up a curb, become slightly more difficult than they used to be. But here's the good news. This ability can be maintained and even improved at any age. Harold, 77, never thought about how he stood up from a chair until one day he realized he was pushing off with his hands more often than before. At first he brushed it off, thinking he was just tired. But then he started noticing other small changes. One evening, as he sat in his recliner watching TV, he went to stand up and felt an unexpected strain in his legs. He hesitated. Why did this feel harder than before? Determined to find out, he tried standing up again, this time without using his hands. It was much harder than he expected. His legs felt weak, and he had to rock forward to gain momentum. It was a wake-up call. Had he lost strength without even realizing it? Harold remembered his doctor once saying that leg strength is one of the biggest predictors of fall prevention. Falls, he knew, were a leading cause of injury-related complications in older adults. That night, he made a decision. He was going to regain his strength before it got worse. Curious to see how you measure up? Try this simple test. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the ground. Cross your arms over your chest so you don't use them for support. Stand up using only your legs. Try to do this 5 times in a row without pausing. If you can do this easily, congratulations. You have strong lower body muscles, good balance, and solid coordination, all key signs of longevity. If you struggle, feel unsteady, or need to use your hands, don't worry. This is a sign that your leg strength may be declining, but the good news is that you can rebuild it with simple exercises. Harold didn't waste any time. He started incorporating a few simple, low-impact exercises into his daily routine. Here's what he did. Chair squats, standing up and sitting back down slowly, 10-15 times per set. Seated leg lifts, lifting one leg at a time while seated to strengthen his thighs. Heel raises, standing on his toes and lowering back down to build ankle strength. Wall sits, sliding down into a seated position against the wall to engage his core and legs. At first, even these small movements were challenging, but within a few weeks, standing up became easier. Harold felt stronger, steadier, and more confident in his movements. The ability to stand up from a chair without using your hands is a major indicator of overall health. It means your leg muscles are strong enough to support your body weight. Balance and coordination are intact, reducing the risk of falls. Core is engaged, helping with posture and stability. Mobility is preserved, keeping you independent and active. Falls are one of the biggest threats to aging well. When leg muscles weaken, the risk of falling increases significantly, leading to injuries that can result in long-term mobility loss. However, those who maintain lower body strength are far more likely to live independently well into their later years. Harold's story is a reminder that small changes in movement can reveal a lot about your overall health. If you can still rise from a chair with ease, take it as a strong sign that your body's aging well. If it's become more difficult, now is the perfect time to start rebuilding strength, because the sooner you do, the easier it will be to maintain your independence for years to come. So the next time you stand up, pay attention to how you do it. Can you rise effortlessly, or do you need a little extra push? Whatever the answer, know that it's never too late to strengthen your body and stay active. If you're still watching this video and found these insights valuable, please comment below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Your support helps us continue to create valuable content to inform and inspire you. Harold had already noticed one small but significant change in his body. He was relying on his hands to push himself up from a chair. Realizing that this was a sign of declining leg strength, he committed to rebuilding his muscles through daily exercises. After a few weeks, he was standing up more easily. His legs felt stronger, and he moved with more confidence. But just as he was celebrating his progress, another moment caught him off guard. One morning, Harold decided to take his usual walk to the corner store. It was something he had done for years without a second thought. But this time, halfway there, he felt his breathing become heavier. His legs, though stronger than before, felt a bit tired. He slowed down slightly, hoping it was just a fluke. When he finally arrived, he realized something that unsettled him. He wasn't just walking slower, he had to walk slower. It was a moment of realization, just like the one he had with his chair. Had he lost endurance without realizing it? Walking is something we do every day without thinking, but research shows that your walking speed is one of the strongest indicators of longevity. A strong heart, walking briskly means your heart pumps blood efficiently. Healthy lungs. Walking without getting winded shows that your lungs are supplying oxygen properly. Muscle endurance. A steady pace means your legs have the stamina to keep moving. Brain function. Research links faster walking speeds to better cognitive health and lower dementia risk. If your walking speed starts to gradually slow down, it can be an early sign that your cardiovascular health or muscle endurance is declining. Doctors even use walking speed as a quick test to assess overall health in older adults. Harold now had a second wake-up call. It wasn't just about strength, it was about stamina too. Curious about your own endurance? Try this simple test. Walk at a normal pace for about 10 feet. Then pick up the speed, like you're walking to catch an elevator before the doors close. Notice how you feel. Can you speed up effortlessly? Do you feel winded? Do your legs struggle to keep up? If you can still walk briskly without getting winded, that's a fantastic sign. If you feel short of breath or slow down noticeably, it may be time to work on your endurance. Harold wasn't the only one facing this challenge. His friend William, 74, had always enjoyed his daily walks, but lately he had been slowing down without realizing it. One day while walking with his daughter, she casually said, "Dad, you used to walk faster than me. Now I have to slow down for you." That moment stuck with him. When had he started walking slower? He started paying closer attention and realized he was avoiding inclines. He was stopping more often to rest. His usual route was taking longer than before. Instead of ignoring it, William made a decision. He was going to rebuild his endurance just like Harold had rebuilt his strength. The good news? Just like strength can be rebuilt, so can endurance. Take regular walks, aim for at least 20-30 minutes a day, gradually increasing speed. Use a step goal. Increase your daily steps by 500 or 1,000 each week. Strengthen your legs. Squats, lunges, and calf raises help maintain strong muscles. Mix it up. Cycling or swimming improves endurance without joint strain. Challenge yourself. Walk on different terrains, like inclines or grassy paths, to engage more muscles. William started small. He set mini goals. First walking at a brisk pace for just 30 seconds, then a minute. Within weeks, he could walk faster without stopping, and his energy levels improved. Walking speed isn't just about fitness, it's about staying independent for years to come. People who walk briskly are more likely to stay independent, less prone to falls and injuries, less likely to experience cognitive decline, more active, social, and engaged in life. On the other hand, when walking speed declines, it often leads to less movement, less confidence, and eventually a loss of independence. Harold, now fully aware of his walking speed, decided to improve his endurance. Here's what he did. He started walking every morning, at first slowly, then gradually increasing his pace. He timed himself, challenging himself to complete his usual route a little faster each time. He did leg and balance exercises to strengthen the muscles that keep him moving. He set goals, first reaching 10 minutes of brisk walking, then 20. Within a few weeks, Harold noticed a difference. His breathing was steadier, his legs felt stronger, and best of all, his confidence was back. One day he walked to the store and realized he didn't have to slow down this time. Harold's journey started with rebuilding his leg strength. But what he didn't realize at first was that strength is only one part of the equation. Endurance is the other. The ability to walk briskly without feeling out of breath is a powerful sign that your body's aging well. It means your heart, lungs, and muscles are working efficiently, and you're far more likely to maintain independence as you age. If you've noticed that you're slowing down, don't be discouraged. Just like Harold and William, you can improve your endurance and reclaim your confidence. Small efforts like walking a little faster each day, adding strength exercises, or challenging yourself with new routes can keep you moving strong for years to come. So the next time you take a walk, pay attention to your pace. Can you pick it up effortlessly? If so, you're on track for a long, active, and independent life. After weeks of working on his strength and endurance, Harold felt like he was making real progress. Standing up from a chair without using his hands had become second nature again, and he was walking at a brisk pace without getting winded. One afternoon, feeling confident, Harold met up with his friend William for a walk in the park. As they strolled, they caught up on life, their progress, and their shared goal of staying strong as they aged. Then as they stopped to rest on a bench, William mentioned something that caught Harold's attention. "You know," William said, "I read something interesting the other day. Apparently, if you can balance on one foot for at least 10 seconds, it's a huge sign of longevity." Harold chuckled. "That sounds easy." William smirked. "Try it." Harold stood up and lifted one foot off the ground. Within seconds, he felt his body wobble. He instinctively reached out to grab the back of the bench for support. It was another wake-up call. His balance wasn't as strong as he thought. Most people don't think about their balance until they start losing it. But research has shown that balance is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Prevents falls. Poor balance is one of the leading causes of falls, which are a major risk for older adults. Reflects brain and nervous system health. Your ability to balance involves coordination between your brain, muscles, vision, and inner ear. Indicates core strength and stability. Strong core muscles help keep you upright and steady. Keeps you independent. Good balance means you can walk confidently, climb stairs, and perform daily activities without fear of stumbling. When balance declines, people often start avoiding certain activities out of fear of falling. This leads to less movement, weaker muscles, and even worse balance. A downward cycle that can greatly affect independence. Harold didn't want to fall into that trap. He was determined to improve his balance before it became a bigger issue. Curious to see how your balance measures up? Try this simple test. Stand near a sturdy surface, like a counter or chair, in case you need support. Lift one foot off the ground and try to hold your balance for 10 seconds. Repeat on the other leg. If you can hold it for at least 10 seconds on both sides, that's a great sign. If you struggle or feel wobbly, your balance may need some improvement. Harold realized he had some work to do, but just like with his strength and endurance, he knew balance could be improved with the right exercises. Harold wasn't the only one thinking about balance. His neighbor Frank, 76, had always been steady on his feet, until one day when he wasn't. It happened while he was getting dressed. As he lifted one foot to put on his socks, he suddenly felt himself tipping over. He reached for the dresser, but missed and ended up on the floor. Luckily, Frank wasn't hurt, but the incident shook his confidence. He started feeling anxious about moving around, avoiding quick turns, and even using handrails more often. The fear of falling was creeping into his mind. Determined not to let that happen again, Frank decided to start actively working on his balance. The good news? Balance can be trained and improved at any age. Here are some simple exercises Harold and Frank started doing. Standing heel raises. Lift your heels off the ground, hold for a second, then lower back down. This strengthens your ankles and improves stability. Side leg lifts. Stand next to a chair, Lift one leg to the side, hold, then lower it slowly. Repeat on both sides. Weight shifts. Stand with feet shoulder width apart. Single leg stands. Hold on to a sturdy surface and lift one foot for a few seconds. Gradually work up to 10 seconds without holding on. Tandem walk. Walk heel to toe in a straight line, like walking on a tightrope. This improves coordination and balance. Harold made it a daily habit to practice standing on one foot while brushing his teeth. At first, he struggled to hold for more than a few seconds, but with practice, he improved steadily. Frank also stayed consistent, and within weeks, he noticed he could put on his socks without needing support again. Balance isn't just about avoiding falls, it's about confidence, mobility, and staying active. People with good balance are more likely to remain independent and continue doing activities they enjoy. Poor balance increases the risk of falls, which can lead to injuries that limit mobility and quality of life. Strong balance reduces fear, allowing people to move freely without hesitation or anxiety. For Harold and Frank, improving balance meant regaining control over their movements and their future. After weeks of practice, Harold decided to test himself again. He stood near the park bench, took a deep breath, and lifted one foot. This time, he stayed steady. 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds. A smile spread across his face. He did it. The progress he had made in strength, endurance, and balance made him feel stronger and younger than he had in years. Harold's journey started with noticing small changes, struggling to stand up from a chair, slowing down while walking, and feeling unsteady on one foot. But rather than ignoring these signs, he took action. Now he could stand up easily, walk briskly without getting winded, and balance with confidence. The ability to balance on one foot for at least 10 seconds might seem small, but it reflects so much about your overall health. It means your muscles are engaged, your nervous system is functioning well, and your body is working efficiently. If balancing on one foot is difficult for you, don't worry, it can be improved. Small daily efforts lead to huge improvements in stability, strength, and independence. So the next time you're standing in line at the grocery store or brushing your teeth, try lifting one foot for 10 seconds. If you can do it with ease, that's a great sign. And if not, now is the perfect time to start working on it. Balance is the key to confidence. Let's keep moving forward, one steady step at a time. Harold had made great progress. He could now stand up from a chair without using his hands, walk briskly without feeling winded, and balance on one foot for 10 seconds. Each of these improvements had made him feel stronger, more confident, and more in control of his body. But then one afternoon, something unexpected happened. Harold's grandson, Ethan, came over for a visit. Excited to play, Ethan grabbed his favorite puzzle and plopped down on the living room rug. "Grandpa, come sit with me," he called. Harold hesitated. He wanted to join Ethan on the floor, but a thought crossed his mind. Could he get down there comfortably? More importantly, could he get back up? Most people don't think about their ability to get down and back up until the moment they struggle with it. Being able to lower yourself to the floor and rise again requires strength, flexibility, coordination, and balance. If any of these areas are weak, getting up can become a real challenge or even a safety risk. Lower body strength. Your legs need to be strong enough to push you back up. Core stability. Your abdominal muscles help you control movement as you rise. Flexibility. Tight joints and muscles can make it harder to bend and move fluidly. Coordination and balance. You need to transition smoothly between positions without losing stability. Research has even shown that those who can get down and up from the floor with ease are more likely to live longer, healthier lives. Why? Because it signals overall physical capability, reducing the risk of mobility decline, injuries, and dependence on others for daily tasks. Harold wasn't ready to give up his ability to move freely, so he decided to put himself to the test. Curious to see how you measure up? Try this simple sit-to-rise test. Stand up straight with space around you. Lower yourself down to the floor without using your hands. Try to get back up without using your hands for support. If you can do this easily, that's a fantastic sign. If you struggle or need assistance, it's a signal that your mobility, flexibility, or strength may need work. When Harold tried it, he was surprised. Getting down was easy, but standing back up? That was another story. He found himself reaching for the coffee table to push off. Harold wasn't the only one facing this realization. His old friend Joseph, 78, had a similar experience. But his was a little scarier. One afternoon, Joseph dropped his car keys on the floor. Without thinking, he bent down to pick them up. But as he reached, he lost his balance and ended up sitting on the floor. No big deal, right? Except he couldn't get back up. He tried to push himself up, but his legs weren't strong enough. He shifted to his hands and knees, but his wrists weren't stable enough to support his weight. Eventually, he had to scoot to a nearby chair and use all his strength to pull himself up. By the time he was back on his feet, he felt shaken and frustrated. That was the moment Joseph knew he had to make a change. The good news? You can rebuild the strength and flexibility needed to get up from the floor, at any age. Here are the exercises Harold and Joseph started doing to regain their mobility. Squats strengthens the legs and core, mimicking the movement of standing up. Lunges improves flexibility and control when transitioning between positions. Seated leg lifts builds thigh strength, essential for pushing off the floor. Kneeling to standing drills. Practicing lowering to one knee and standing back up helps develop smooth movement. Stretching routine keeps the hips, knees, and lower back flexible for better mobility. At first, even these small exercises were challenging, but consistency paid off. Within a few weeks, Harold noticed that getting up from the floor wasn't as hard anymore. His legs were stronger, his balance was better, and most importantly, he felt confident in his movements again. If you can get down to the floor and back up easily, it means your muscles and joints are working efficiently. You have the flexibility and coordination to move freely. You're at a lower risk of falls or getting stuck if you ever need to reach something low. But if this movement has become difficult, it could indicate a decline in strength, flexibility, or balance, all of which are essential for staying independent. Harold and Joseph both realized that improving this one ability would make a huge difference in their confidence, mobility, and future well-being. A few weeks after starting his new routine, Harold got another visit from his grandson. "Grandpa, want to do a puzzle with me?" Ethan asked, settling onto the floor. This time, Harold didn't hesitate. He knelt down with ease and spent the next hour enjoying quality time with his grandson. When they were done, Harold stood back up without needing to grab onto anything. Ethan grinned. "Wow, Grandpa, you're strong." Harold smiled to himself. He felt strong. Harold's journey started with small realizations, struggling to stand up from a chair, slowing down while walking, and feeling unsteady on one foot. But each time, instead of ignoring the signs, he took action. Now he could get up from the floor with ease, knowing that his strength and mobility were back on track. If you can still do this movement effortlessly, take it as a powerful sign that you're aging well. If it's become difficult, don't wait. Start working on it today, because the stronger you stay, the longer you'll live independently. Stay strong, stay mobile, and keep moving forward. Harold had come a long way. Just weeks ago, he had struggled to stand up from a chair without using his hands, noticed himself slowing down on walks, felt unsteady on one foot, and hesitated to get down on the floor. But instead of ignoring these signs, he took action. Through daily exercises, he had regained his strength, balance, and mobility. He felt more confident in his movements, and for the first time in years, he truly believed he was in control of his aging process. Then one afternoon, Harold decided to run an errand that had always been second nature to him, a simple grocery run. After shopping, he picked up his usual bags and started walking toward his car. That's when he noticed something surprising. The bags felt heavier than usual. His arms and hands strained slightly as he carried them, and by the time he reached his car, he felt a little tired. It was another wake-up call. We often take carrying groceries, lifting household objects, or opening a jar for granted. But the truth is, upper body strength plays a major role in long-term health and independence. Grip strength is directly linked to longevity. Studies show that people with stronger grip strength tend to live longer, healthier lives. Carrying weight builds endurance. It requires arm, shoulder, and core strength, which are essential for daily activities. Weakness in the arms and hands can lead to loss of independence. If carrying a simple grocery bag becomes difficult, everyday tasks like lifting a suitcase, holding onto a railing, or pushing open a door become harder too. Harold had been so focused on his lower body strength that he hadn't realized his grip and arm strength were starting to decline. Curious to test your own strength? Try this simple exercise. Pick up a full grocery bag or a similar 10 to 15 lb object. Carry it across the room without stopping. Notice how your arms, shoulders, and grip feel. If you can do this easily, that's a great sign. If you struggle, feel your grip weakening, or need to put the bag down early, it may be time to work on your strength. When Harold tried this again at home, he realized he couldn't hold the bag for as long as he used to. That's when he knew it was time to start building his upper body strength. Harold wasn't the only one facing this issue. His friend Richard, 75, had a similar moment of realization, but his was a little more frustrating. One morning, Richard went to open a jar of pickles. He gripped the lid, twisted, and nothing. He tried again, using all his strength, but the lid wouldn't budge. Feeling annoyed, he finally handed it to his wife. Without much effort, she popped it open. That's when it hit him. For years, he had never struggled with tasks like this, but lately he had been asking for help more often, lifting heavy pots, carrying groceries, even holding onto the railing a little tighter when walking downstairs. Richard realized that if he didn't work on his strength now, he might soon struggle with even basic tasks. The good news, you can rebuild your grip and arm strength at any age. Here are some simple exercises Harold and Richard started doing to regain their upper body strength. Hand squeeze. Use a rubber ball or stress ball, squeezing for 10 to 15 seconds at a time. Improves grip strength. Bicep curls. Lift light weights or water bottles to strengthen arms. Overhead press. Push weights or cans overhead to build shoulder strength. Farmer's carry. Hold a heavy object like a grocery bag and walk across the room. Builds grip, arm, and core endurance. Push-ups or wall push-ups. Great for overall upper body strength. At first, Harold and Richard found these exercises challenging, but they stayed consistent, and within weeks they noticed carrying groceries felt easier. Opening jars and lifting objects was no longer a struggle. They felt stronger, steadier, and more capable. Being able to lift and carry everyday objects is more than just a convenience. It's a reflection of your overall health. If your grip is strong, it means your muscles, joints, and nervous system are working well. If you can carry weight without struggling, it means your body is maintaining endurance and function. If you find these tasks difficult, it could be a sign that strength is declining, but it's never too late to rebuild it. Harold and Richard both knew that strength wasn't just about fitness, it was about maintaining their independence. They didn't want to rely on others for things as simple as carrying groceries or opening jars. They wanted to stay strong for as long as possible. A few weeks after starting his new routine, Harold went to the grocery store again. This time, when he picked up his bags, they felt lighter. He walked to his car without feeling tired. When he got home, he carried them inside with ease. It was a small moment, but to Harold, it meant everything. He knew that by staying active, challenging his muscles, and continuing these exercises, he could maintain his strength for years to come. Harold's journey started with small realizations, struggling to stand, slowing down on walks, feeling unsteady, and hesitating to get down on the floor. But by taking action, he had regained his mobility, endurance, balance, and now his upper body strength. Carrying a full grocery bag without struggling might seem small, but it's a powerful indicator of overall strength, grip, and longevity. If you can do this with ease, it's a great sign that you're aging well. If it's become more difficult, don't wait. Start building strength now, because the stronger you stay, the longer you'll remain independent. Aging well isn't about avoiding time. It's about embracing strength, mobility, and independence for as long as possible. Small abilities like standing up with ease, walking briskly, balancing, and lifting everyday objects are not just movements. They are reflections of your overall health and vitality. The key to longevity lies in staying active, challenging your body, and never accepting decline as inevitable. Every effort, no matter how small, builds resilience. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the ability to move freely, live independently, and enjoy life without limitations. Because strength isn't just physical, it's the foundation of a fulfilling life. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear from you. What's one insight you gained, and how do you plan to apply it in your life? Share Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback means the world to us and keeps us inspired to create more content for you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support allows us to continue bringing you valuable insights that inform and inspire. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.